We take the good wherever we can find it, making it our own insofar as we understand it. Okay. How many are musicians there? How many musicians are here? Okay. How many play an instrument? Okay. Now, how many know you play the instrument as far as you understand that instrument? Okay. Good. Brian's sitting over here. Brian's been playing guitar for us since he was a baby. When he was a teenager, he used to come up and play with Black Over in the Canyon. That was over 25 years ago, Brian. Okay. And Brian would play, and we've watched Brian over the years, and he is my God, what he can do now with that guitar. But the potential, what you could do now with your guitar, was there when you were 25 years ago, wasn't it? Okay. You just hadn't what? Let it out yet. You hadn't honed it yet. You hadn't disciplined it yet. Okay. The same thing was true with anything in your life. You can do what? At any moment, say, I am ready, willing, and able to first affirm what I want to change for the better, and then let go and let myself learn how to be it in action when it happens, so that what? When it happens, I can be responsible for it, because if I'm not going to be responsible for it, this is the way it works. It goes away. Everyone say, I don't always get what I want, but I do always get what I expect. And I never keep what I'm not ready to be responsible for. How many know that was true before I ever said it? Okay. If you're not going to be responsible for it, don't complain if it leaves. Okay. The universe says what? You can demonstrate, with all things are possible, and you can keep it if what? If you let go and let responsibility in action be your way. Making, as Dr. Holmes said, making it our own insofar as we understand it. He continues by saying, the realization that good is universal and that as much good as any individual is able to incorporate in his life is his to use is what constitutes the science of mind and spirit. We have discussed the nature of the thing as being universal energy, mind, intelligence, spirit, finding conscious and individualized centers of expression through us, and that man's intelligence is this universal mind functioning at the level of man's concept of it. This is the essence of the whole teaching. See, everybody in every religion on this planet is proving what they believe to themselves. Do you know it? So you can't argue with what they believe. Okay. But the challenge we have, and this is one of the things that I discovered along the way of my never-ending process from the age 23 to now. In my studies of religious science, I found out that what the great, the good, and the wise within our teaching said was true, and that is the more I know, there's more to know. The more I understand, there's more to understand. This is why, as our teachers taught us when we began to move through this, the best thing about being a religious science minister is you get to take classes every year. How many have discovered our classes and have found that it's one of the most beneficial things in your life? Okay. It's really interesting. Every year at the end of the class, we always ask people to fill out things. And every year, people will say, this was the best year of my life. And you know why? They were opening up to a greater idea, to an understanding of a greater idea, to the application of a greater idea, to the being of a greater idea. And as a result, they allowed themselves to start from where they were to where they could be. And as a result of that, where they could be began to unfold as what? Their life. And as a result of it unfolding as their life, all of a sudden they began to realize it is good enough to be true. Change my mind, change my life. I was on the phone recently with someone who was given a negative health verdict about 20 years ago. Okay, about 20 years ago. You know, and the doctor sat him down and said, get 6 of your friends to carry you out of the room by the handles because you're about to leave. And they said, I'm sorry, they outlived the doctor, by the way. And they're doing fine. They're doing great, and they're looking forward to the day they're in and to the morrow they're in. It is great. It is great when we know we know that the beautiful in us, as us, deserves to unfold as our new experience, no matter how long we've been here or no matter how short a time we've been here. In Isaiah 14:24, it says, surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass. That's the book of Isaiah, people. They were teaching science of mind in the book of Isaiah. Good. See, and it was beautiful. And it was true. Because, you see, truth doesn't have a date on it. What Jesus taught was true. It didn't become true because he taught it. He taught it because it was true. All he was teaching was Elohim Judaism, okay, which got all the people who taught it in trouble. Why? Because it was taking the authority away from what? The central body. Okay. Jesus said what? What we said this morning. What you're looking for, you're looking with. Don't you know your gods? Okay. Our Father, which art in heaven, okay, which he said is within. Hallowed be thy name. It is whole, perfect, and complete. Thy what? Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth. The outer experience as it is, where in heaven. Your outer experience looks like your consciousness. That's what he's saying. If you don't like what you see, stop trying to run away from it, because if you do, all you're going to do is take it with you, change consciousness, and it will go away and something else will replace it. Stop complaining about what you don't want and start affirming what you do want and celebrate it before anybody sees it. That's how this works. And it works every time for everyone. Even if you want to prove this isn't true, you will. Dr. Holmes said if this isn't working for you, it's working for you by not working for you. Okay. We never claim to have a copyright on truth because nobody has a copyright on truth. Nobody has more of it than somebody else. Okay. Somebody came up to me the other day and, it looked like they hadn't eaten in 3 weeks. And they're going on about, we're going to hell because we're in. And I said, well, first of all, I don't believe in hell. So and I don't believe in damnation. I don't believe in a God that would create something like that. And they said, oh, no, you got to believe this. And I said, well, how's it working for you? How's it working for you? Okay. You see, our good is waiting to be anything we let it be. On page 36 of the Science of Mind textbook, Dr. Holmes says, if God is to interpret himself to man, he must interpret himself through man. Through man. It can only be what we think it is. You have goodness of God, people, and you have badness of people. We haven't fallen into the goodness of God category. Because I know if it's true and it's everywhere at once, it must be everywhere you are, and it must be everything you are, whether you know it's there or not. And my choice is either to greet what you don't know or greet what I do know. Okay. What are you greeting in the world around you this week, this year?